I have to be honest. This is not for everybody. However, if you choose to accept, this is for the person that is confused. This is for the person that is frustrated. This is for the person who's been looking inside themselves and come up empty. Today's episode is entitled But Wait. If you're new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework in which I unpack today's title, which is entitled Stories and Environment. What narratives have you told yourself? Again, stories and environment. What narrative have you told yourself? You see, family, if you don't mind, I would like to share a story with you, a story that I hope can be captivating, a story that will arrest your attention on what the matter is. See, we tell ourselves a lot of different stories. A lot of these stories come from people we know. They come from people we love. They come from strangers. And these stories can be of self defeat. These stories can be of that person's limitation, but not our own. And see, when we start buying into and believing into these stories, we have a issue with moving forward. Okay, you don't like that one. Okay, we have challenges with moving forward because now all of a sudden our confidence is attacked. Our self belief on what we believe that we could do at that time and in that moment is now crushed because either now we have the stories from others plus the experiences that we've experienced personally, in which has put us in a space that makes us believe that it's not possible. It's not possible to go and get our cap in. We believe it's not possible to go and get a PMP. I know, because it's not possible. But see, I'm here to refute that. I'm here to say if you're willing to do the homework, if you're willing to do the work and study your craft and study the thing that you're going after, I'm here to be your testimony to say it is possible. How do I know? I have receipts, family. You see, when I was actually going after the PMP, and I've shared this story at a very high level, I didn't have the success that I was looking for. Not once, not twice, but 3 times did I not have the success that I was looking for. And what I had to realize, I had to take a step back and ask myself that famous question, why? Once I asked the why question, then I had to say, well, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to go after this? How am I going to make that adjustment? Because that's all it was. It was a requirement of me to make an adjustment. But also I had to be in an environment that it empowered me. You see, we're in a lot of environments, family, ones that we impose upon ourselves and other ones that are imposed upon us, and that we don't know that, oh, this is a bad environment because we've gotten comfortable. I like that because sometimes, family, we get comfortable in situations, and now the comfortableness, if that's even a word, becomes norm. Becomes a norm. It becomes normal, and when it becomes normal, then when we see something that is uplifting, that we see something that is positive, that it provides us an avenue to really increase or provide us a lane to go towards the thing that we said that we wanted, it is something we don't want to travel. Even though it can be in our best interest, even though it can provide us the value that we actually need. So, here today, I tackle stories and environments. What narrative have you told yourself? So, let's hit point number one. Point number one, develop a routine that uplifts you. Family, I've shared this. I'm a living proof of it again. And again, family, I want to be clear before we even get into these points because a lot of times people think where if you start changing your mindset that you're not going to have bad days. When you start changing your mindset like you're not going to run into problems, you're going to have a problem-free life. When you start changing your mindset that people are not going to turn on you or disappear out your life, I'm here to tell you, family, all of that is not true because all of those things I said can and probably will happen. However, it's up to you to make the decision how much you're going to feed into it. It's up to you to make the decision how much are you going to let it affect you that you no longer want to move on. So today I challenge you to move on. So point number one is develop a routine that uplifts you every morning when I wake up. The first thing, okay, the second thing, maybe the first and second thing that I normally do is I have me a playlist which allow me to basically listen to something positive, uplifting, something that can get me going, get me thinking, get me excited about today. If I don't have that particular, let's say I don't look, I may read a page or two out of a particular book. Why do I do this? I want to basically program my mind. I want to get my mind in a upbeat type mindset because I don't know what the day may hold for me. But whatever comes my way, I want to at least say that I'm prepared mentally to handle whatever it may be. And if I'm not able to handle it, I'm going to figure a way out to handle it. So one of the things I recommend is reading something, listening to, if it's, your thing is music, listen to music. If it's personal development, mixtapes and things like that. And speaking of that, I think I am going to put together a personal development mixtape, really around mindset for project managers because I think we really need it. Okay, family, as you know, March 9th, this Saturday, March 9th of the day, if you're watching this, I'm super excited because we will have the Magnetic Project Manager School. It will be live. There are no assets in there. I'm currently building them right now. So be on the lookout for that. Hey, I hope you enjoy what we put out there. All right, point number two. One of the things is contribute to well-being. See, it's nothing like when you have an opportunity to volunteer and help out other people, because when you do that, when you have the opportunity to help and serve other people, you sometimes, and it depends on where you're doing this at, but sometimes I know for me, what has happened to me when I've had the opportunity to volunteer at the homeless shelter or at the like the soup kitchen type deal, I realize that sometimes the things that we hold are so huge problems that they're not that big. They're not that big because the smile on some of these people's faces that I experienced with, it was just amazing because they was just happy to see that somebody cared. They were happy to see somebody was appreciative and didn't treat them like, strangers or aliens or anything like that. I'm like, man, give me love, embrace me, because of the fact of I understand that we all can experience these things in life and we're not immune to those things. So being able to open up your heart and your mind and show kindness is a big thing. Point number three, reflect on your evolution. I call this more or less your upgrade. iPhone right now at the current of this taping is on iPhone 15, I believe. And now there was 14 other integrations or upgrades that I could say that came along the way. And we have to be thinking about that, family. We have to understand that as we continue to grow, there's going to be version upgrades of ourselves, and don't beat ourselves up about currently where we're at, because if we keep doing the work, it's funny how things work out. So that's why one of the things I do recommend is keeping a journal, or in this journal, it doesn't even have to be a physical journal. You could use an Excel workbook or a Microsoft Word document and just document how you've been, how you feeling today or in that day. And what I love about that is the ability to go back and look a year from now, like, man, I can't believe I was really tripping about that when I should have just let that go. So again, family, document so you can see your evolution. You can see how you've grown as a person, because this is what this thing of life is. Change is inevitable, meaning that it's going to happen either with you or without you. So be always willing to change and grow. Point number four, be intentional about media you consume. When I first got in this thing called personal development, as well as project management, because I was so caught up in my books and everything and just everything that was going on, I refused to watch any news. I didn't want to watch news because I felt like, why am I going to watch more negative stuff? I can see that going on around in my area. So I'm cool on that. But I realized that I took it a little bit too far. Like, I was a little bit too rigid. But I would recommend be intentional about your media consumption, meaning the negative things that you continue to watch and read. Not saying cut off the news, because we need to be informed. Don't do like I did and become so rigid in that area at that time. But I do understand the value of news at certain points. And it was just at the point of where I was at, I wanted to grow. I needed to grow. I was at a place where it was like either grow or you're not going to grow, meaning that there were a lot of challenges that I was up against, and I wanted to prove all of those who doubted me, whoever gave up on me, that they were wrong about the decisions they made on me. So I just went in straight growth mode, and I just kept learning and learning, still there in a sense. So again, be intentional about the media you consume. Point number five: design or create a space where it doesn't have to be a big space. For me, what I do, and maybe one day I'll take you guys behind the scenes, and I have so many post-it notes and quotes on my whiteboard about just the things that really inspire me. So I would recommend get you a thing of post-it notes and put them places or whatever, that quotes or things that people said that really inspire you. So when you have a moment of down or a moment of frustration, you can go to look at that quote and be like, all right, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to knock this out. So, because it's really going to be huge to have those motivational quotes. And again, you still got to go do the work. I'll be crystal clear there. You still have to go do the work. Point number six: embrace curiosity. This is my favorite, because when you challenge yourself to learn something new, it really opens your mind up for curiosity. Like you're trying to figure things out, and it no longer becomes daunting. It becomes like an exciting adventure, because you're like, man, how did they come up with that? What made them even think about that in that particular way? So again, family, embrace curiosity. Point number seven: curate an uplifting playlist. I shared this before earlier, where I was talking about, I in the first thing in the morning, one of the things I do is look at my playlist. So I have a YouTube playlist that I call it Mindset. I'm giving you right behind the scenes. Call it Mindset. I think right now I have like 120 some odd videos in there, of videos that I've seen on YouTube that I really appreciate. I love the direction that they were talking, and whether it's around mindset, whether it's around discipline, whether it's around courage. So these things are very important to me, and I hope that you can understand the importance to you of being able to create your playlist. So when you wake up in the morning, and the purpose of this is why I want you to create that playlist, family, if you decide to take me up on this, is because if you are on YouTube, I don't care who, you could be the strongest. I shouldn't say that. I'll talk about me. I'll throw myself under the bus for a minute. If I get on YouTube and I say, okay, I'm going to look for something motivational or something around discipline, and I get to, soon as I open it up and it's something that arrests my attention, I'm probably going to click on that and say, okay, I'm only going to look at a minute or two. And then 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes. And then I'm like, man, I didn't even do what I was supposed to do. So when I go to this playlist, only thing I can choose is something that is positive or around the elements that I'm constantly wanting to work on, constantly wanting to get better at. Because you can't, I don't think there's no such thing of having so much confidence. I think it's you want to have as much confidence. I don't think there's no such thing as having so much, you want to have so much discipline. And just keeping a positive mindset when you're going through life, because life, I'm telling you, family, it you could hit back, and sometimes it may swing at you. You got to keep hitting back, and you got to stay along that journey. So creating this playlist is going to be huge. And point number eight: you want to make sure you celebrate small wins. One of the things I love to do is set mini goals. Matter of fact, one of the things I am thinking about doing for everyone here, I want to do a book. I want to do a book like I don't want to say review, but like a book study in which we start looking at books around project management, around productivity, around discipline, and things of that nature. And I just do a full live book study, because one of the books I really want to recommend around this particular area is called 12 Weeks. I haven't read it. I only kind of read a little bit of it. But it's really amazing. The concept is basically is a 12 weeks, and basically setting many goals in a sense, and actually looking at your week over week, versus you waiting to a end of a quarter or waiting to the end of the year, like performance appraisal. So anyway, family, you want to celebrate these small wins that you have. So create what it looks like for a small win for you, and go ahead and knock it out. All right, here's a bonus. One of the things I want to recommend, and that I actually have in my phone, and I think is a gold mine. And what I do is, if someone says something that's inspirational, I'll put their name with the particular quote. One of the things, and I should probably tell you what the thing is So it's basically you want to seek inspirational role models. And seeking inspirational role models is, like I said, I have so many different things that people have said that has inspired me or made me think or made me, basically made me want to go deeper on whatever they had said. So this would be interesting. And plus, you can watch their journey. A lot of people I have in my phone, some of them I don't agree with, but the majority of them I do. But it was something that they said that arrested my attention that made me stop and say, all right, let me rewind that and type that in my phone. Here's my closing remarks, family. I have three. First of all, reflect on your evolution. Take time to see how far you have come. Just think about before, you would never watch a video like this around just life in general. You wouldn't even want to work on growing and grooming yourself to be a better person, I should say, a better version, because I believe we truly have multiple versions of our throughout our life. So don't think you need to be, like I talked about the iPhone, like you need to be iPhone 15 when you're just starting off in version one. Number one, give yourself a pass, or give yourself an opportunity, I should say, to actually grow. Point number two, be intentional about the media you consume. Again, don't be as rigid as I was, but at least put some garters in place of the things that, hey, I should probably be working on this thing over here. So I probably need to put this aside for just a little bit, or how much news you're really embracing, and now all of a sudden you're frustrated about this and this and that. He was like, so again, family, be intentional about the media you can consume, and I use news as an example. It could be many other things as well. And the last and final point, like I said, seek inspirational role models. It's going to be key to find inspirational role models that really arrest your attention with the motivational quotes that they say, or something that they say that made you think, that made you say, oh, I need to write this down. Instead of talking about it, go ahead and make it happen. And I like putting mine in my phone as well as I put it on paper, because of the fact that it helps me remember it. Until next time, I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. It was different than most that what we normally would have here, but I think it's very important and very powerful that we have to make sure that we continue to work on ourselves, work on our mindset, because each day is going to be a challenge to see how bad we want it or not. Until next time, I'm gone.